it's not a perfect world that we're in. We're here in New Orleans on Bourbon Street. Everything on this planet kills to survive. We're at the top of the food chain.
What's up, everybody? Natalie here with John, and I had a sign that said, "Debate a vegan, win a drink," and he said he has some good arguments against veganism for me. So first I want to ask, what is veganism to you?
Scientifically speaking, it's against eating living things.
The way I think about veganism, it's not necessarily like a diet as much as like an ethical stance against animal abuse, like use and abuse. So you're essentially trying to reduce animal suffering as far as practicable and possible.
Well, I'm not necessarily against it, but I would say I'm against forcing it on other people that think that, eating.
I was about to actually tie you down and shove tofu in your mouth. Should I not do that now?
No, that would be assault.
Okay, I'm not going to do that. Luckily, I can't actually force anyone to be vegan, but I'm curious, when you buy animal products, are you forcing that animal into a slaughterhouse?
Yeah, I suppose you are, but I think veganism in a lot of ways is just against eating meat in general and eating, animals, I guess eggs and dairy and all that. I would say that, you can eat meat through hunting as well.
What's your relationship with animals like? Do you like animals?
So I do like animals, and I also do eat animals. And I did for a little bit go on a plant-based of veggie burgers and stuff, which was fine. It tasted as good. Yeah, but I do eat animals.
I'm a hunter.
Yeah, but you don't eat the meat, you hunt and you eat the meat?
No, so I'm a cat hunter, or a cunter, I call it. What do you think about that?
I've never thought about it until now, so.
Do you think I should hunt cats?
Yeah, why would you hunt cats?
To eat them.
So you're not a vegan, or no?
I'm a cat-eating vegan.
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't understand. I mean, I guess if you're eating cats, I guess that's an animal. So.
Would you eat a dog or a cat?
No, hell no. Yeah, no. I guess because most people have them as pets and stuff. I mean, that's with a fish too. But I feel like people have fish sometimes just because it's cheaper and they just want to see something move around.
So what do you think about eating cats? Is it good or bad to eat cats?
Well, I suppose I've never eaten a cat, but I think if you had to eat a cat to survive, then everything kills to survive. I would agree with you that maybe the whole big food industry is not the most ethical.
Do you think there's a moral difference between a cat and a dog, or a cow and a pig?
I don't think there's a big difference at all. I think it's crazier because cows give us milk and things, and they also, if you kill them, give you meat, and it's pretty crazy because they are when you see them, they're really oh my god, that's a cow, and it's cool. But then you eat it, it's you don't really think about that you just saw one.
Let's talk about kind of the base of the vegan argument, which is necessity, right? You were talking about animals eating other animals, or people eating to survive. If you're doing something out of survival, I think that it can be justified, and that could even be considered vegan because it's reducing animal suffering as far as practicable and possible. But how can you justify eating an animal when you could eat plants instead, and you're not in a situation of survival or necessity?
Well, I think you can justify it because, in a way, it's a food that helps you thrive, and you need it to provide the vital vitamins and minerals for your brain, for your development. You can certainly, get those from other sources, maybe not as efficiently.
What are your primary reasons for consuming animal products? For me, I feel it was taste and convenience.
Yeah, definitely taste, definitely convenience, definitely I'm around people and they serve it, especially where I go to eat. There's mainly if I want to eat a big meal, they're going to serve more meat, and then veggies and stuff will be side, and it wouldn't even be that great. Their consideration would be oh, you're vegan, I'll give you tofu.
I could say that, it's efficient to eat humans, right? But would we agree that that's morally bad for me to eat a human, even though it's very efficient?
No, well, that'd be cannibalism, I guess, which is, I think, frowned upon in most animal species. But
what about you? What do you think about cannibalism? If I wanted to get my nutrients efficiently by eating a human,
I don't think I would eat a human.
But what if I did? Would you try to stop me?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I'm an American, and I believe, and that's my whole belief really, is that I think veganism and vegetarianism, I guess, and I think there's a place for it all. And for some people, I think it's the right diet for them. I think some people, that's really what it comes down to, is how you feel and how it makes you feel.
Let's say you have to go to a different restaurant, right? What's harder, going to a different restaurant or a cow being in a slaughterhouse?
Definitely going to a different restaurant.
It's harder than a cow being in a slaughterhouse.
Oh wait, no, there's it's definitely, it's hard. A cow, yeah.
I feel like I'd have to spend a lot more time eating, and with working and maintaining a life. I just feel like animals provide. And I get your whole, the argument about the ethical implications of slaughterhouses and all that. And I certainly think that, that's not a good thing, but it's almost like the same thing with, choosing to like drive a gas car and with fossil fuels, and they're bad for the environment, but it's such a bigger picture. We can all do what we can.
Do you think like the taste pleasure you get from eating animals, does that justify what animals go through?
Definitely not. No, definitely. No, I've seen some like crazy documentaries, and it's just like, it's like, would I want to shoot a cow in the head? No, I would not be able to do that. Yeah.
But because you're so disconnected, it makes it easier, right? So what does that say about kind of the process and your feelings toward it if you wouldn't want to do it yourself? Does that mean that you do have like kind of a moral issue with what's happening?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's very much just like trying not to think about it and just going with it. It's definitely like a social thing where I've just been so like kind of shaped into just eating whatever is someone else is eating and eating whatever is served to me, and not really having that ability to be like questioning what I'm eating.
I feel like at this point you're kind of conflating veganism with environmentalism, saying like, oh, it's, you don't have to drive, you could help the environment. It is certainly better for the environment to not eat animal products. That is, once again confirmed, but they're different things. I'm not arguing like, oh, you should be vegan, do what you can for the environment. I'm saying you should stop violating the rights of animals when you don't need to. So what do you think about that?
Well, I guess what I think about is we live in 2022. It's not a perfect world that we're in. We're here in New Orleans on Bourbon Street, and we're a very industrialized world. Everything on this planet kills to survive, and everything, there's no such thing as dying of old age. Like, something will kill you.
Does that make it okay to kill someone anytime? Like, I could say like, okay, everyone dies. Does that mean I could like kill that woman right now because she's gonna die and I'm gonna die?
Well, no, we live in a civilized society, so obviously that would be murder. But
yeah. So then other animals.
Animals. I mean, we're at the top of the food chain.
The kind of disconnection you're talking about between the cow and the burger, that's intentional by these animal farming industries, because they know that like if we really thought about the animal, most people don't like violence toward animals, so we would not necessarily buy into it. So like when you go to the grocery store, you see like, the labels say humane or local, things like that. Like, do you believe those labels?
No, I don't even notice a lot of them, no.
I just want to make it clear that it is propaganda. 99% of animal products come from factory farms.
We've kind of become this apex predator on planet Earth because of our conscious
our intelligence. But that's kind of saying like, just because we can do something, just because we can dominate other species, does that mean that it's moral to do so?
No, certainly not.
So what gives us the right to just treat animals however we want, to point the finger and say, I'm going to end your life because I want to? What gives us that right?
Well, I guess the only rights we really have are individual rights, and individual rights only apply to humans.
Why is that?
I guess that's a tough question to answer.
You said that cows give us milk, but why do cows produce milk in the first place?
Because I guess it's, actually, I don't know that, but I'm assuming it's for their own survival and obviously for feeding calves.
Yeah, no, you're right, but I didn't even know that. I just thought they had a bunch of milk, but they're forcibly impregnated by the farmers, and then when they have their baby, they can't have the baby drinking the milk, so they take the babies away. If they're a male, what do you think happens to the baby?
Oh, it gets killed probably.
Yeah, for veal.
Milk, yeah.
Exactly. Do you think that that's fair to the cow?
Definitely, definitely not. Yeah, definitely not.
We don't have any rights. The only rights we have are individual rights to make choices for ourselves, and in a free society, and voluntary decisions.
Yeah, and I kind of touched on at the beginning, I can't force anyone to be vegan, right? You're going to leave this conversation, you're going to do what you want, but the choice I want to leave you with is that every time you sit down to eat or you buy a product, you can either say, I want to live in a world where I'm creating more harm toward animals, I'm creating this suffering that I don't need to be creating, or you could learn, I can show you how to get your nutrients efficiently from plants. So when there's the choice between harming an animal or eating plants, what would you choose?
Well, I think it's more nuanced than that. That's the point I'm getting at. What if I hunted the deer, and what if I just ate a deer for a year, or a bear, or fish? I've lived off seafood.
Yeah, you're still, at that point,
Still exploitation to you?
I would say it's significantly better than paying for an animal to be in a factory farming environment. I would definitely say there's a moral difference there. The way I think about it is I consider all animals to be like dogs or cats. They're all individuals who want to live.
Plants, like aren't plants individuals or no?
No, so plants don't have a central nervous system, but let's say plants did feel pain, right? Let's just say for the sake of the debate that they feel pain. Let's say plants are individuals. It still takes 15 times more plants to sustain an omnivore diet because the animals eat so many plants throughout their lives. So if you did want to minimize plant deaths,
Suffering.
Exactly. Do you have any other questions for me?
No, I really appreciated this.
Yeah. Do you think I addressed your arguments all right? Is there anything?
I think you were very well thought out,
Okay,
and I will certainly consider your talking points. I appreciate this.
Yeah. Do you think being vegan would be more in line with your morals?
Yeah, it seems like I'm very open to like change. I'm not very like strict on my ways. So like it's a big thing about like how you feel like body wise. Like I would definitely love to see the difference of how I feel emotionally, physically, vegan or not vegan.
Yeah, definitely. And like for me personally, like I did it so slowly. I felt kind of the same physically, but mentally I felt so much better because I was finally like I loved animals. But every time you eat an animal, you're paying for an animal to be essentially tortured. So once I was living in line with my values, I just felt a lot more confident and better about my place in the world. It's definitely a valuable change. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please hit that like button. Special thanks to my morally superior patrons, Amy, Andy, Deepak, and Rebecca.